So let me unpause the recording. So good morning, everyone. Congratulations. You have all made it to call number 3 in our Director Bound group. So we have just one more week left after this week. So you guys are coming down to the wire, and we have had a lot of success just in the past 3 weeks since it started. So I'm super excited to see where everybody's going. I know we have some people that have set their target to promote June 1st, and some of them are on track to promote by then or before, and others are getting close. And then we have some that are on their journey and they're started and they're going to make it. So I'm really excited to be here with you guys all on that. So remember, it's progress, not perfection. That's the point. So we're going to take just a couple minutes and share does somebody want to share what their biggest takeaway was from last week?
Mine was having the confidence in myself and knowing that other people actually trusted what I was saying to lead them. I have a difficult time, I should say. I see the progress, but I still in my head don't believe that I can do it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I had some. Do you want me to share what I was going to share this morning, or is that later?
In just a couple minutes.
Okay. But that was that. But I've seen that this last week, and I've seen my consultants growing. One who's doing absolutely amazing. She'll probably pass me up in no time. But and knowing that I helped her get there. So I've seen her growth has realized that my growth has had something to do with that.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Belief is huge, because it's all up here. Who else? Did anybody else have a takeaway from last week? Miss Carrie.
I do. I had the fear of not sharing the opportunity with people, and so and believing in yourself. Those were mine, and I think how we addressed it was awesome. So it's really given me confidence, and now I have another new team member, Donna Dunn, who joined last week.
Congratulations. That's awesome, Carrie. Anybody else? How did you guys feel about, oh, did somebody start talking and I missed it? Oh, okay, there must have been a delay. How did you guys feel about making the 10 contacts, reaching out to fill your calendars? How did everybody do with that? I know how Kimberly did, and she's going to share with that in a few minutes.
Still working on it.
Still working on it. Okay. I'm still working on it too, guys. Got my tracking sheet. Lori. Who's Lori? Lindsay, you're on mute. You tried to talk to me.
I know. Lauren.
Lauren. Lauren, up there in the corner. I'm so sorry. Lauren, share with me.
I am still working on it, but as of right now, I have 5 parties booked for June with the possibility of more.
Oh, yeah.
And then I also have 2 possible recruits, with one hopefully signing up this weekend.
Yay, Lauren, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. So just a quick reminder to be tracking your contacts. I know that we have said this over and over and over again, but that's how serious we are about it. You really need to track your contacts so that you know who to circle back to and reach out again if they didn't respond, or keep track of how many you're making, because you could send 10 messages pretty easily and think, well, I sent 10 messages, but if only one person got back to you, you really only made one contact. So you need to keep going and keep going, and it's all in the numbers. I have something that I'm going to be posting in the group this week. It's a challenge that I would love for you guys all to take. It's called the No Tracker. And so it looks like this, and you go for 100 no's. And so I just started it last night, so you can see I got 2 X's. So I get no's too, just so you know. But you just literally, every time you get a no, you track it. And every 10 no's, you make a reward for yourself. It could be something like, oh, I'm going to have that cookie that I've been denying myself. I'm not going to do that because I'm doing strong on my thing. But you can do what, or, I'm going to go get my nails painted if it's open where you're at, or just something that you want to reward yourself with. And that way you kind of work towards your goal. And I guarantee you, if you fill up this tracker, your calendar is going to be full. So I'm going to be posting that after the call today. So we have Miss Kimberly Glenn. She is a new director. She just promoted to director on May 1st, officially on May 1st. And she has, Kimberly, you promoted in just 30 days, wasn't it?
I think it was within the 60, within 30.
Yep. So within her first 60 days, she promoted to director, fast track director in her business. She got that $500 cash bonus, which I'm sure she's enjoying right now. And she's going to share with us what she did this last week and the success that she had with her bookings. Go ahead, Miss Kimberly.
Well, I have recently, I don't know if I shared in the last meeting, but I quit my full-time job as a nurse practitioner. It was a little unexpected, so I've had a little more time, I guess, on my hands. And I went to do the contacts, and I had a post that I sent, and I don't know if I posted it on the site, but I will. That, it's been a long time since we've talked, but I've recently done this, telling people about my new venture. I sent it, I don't know, 30 people maybe, several no's, lots of yeses. I ended up booking 17 parties. And I'm still going for more, but I had this one the other day. I had posted it to her because I swore that I knew this lady, that her grandchildren or her children had cheered with my girls, and didn't get a response. But the next day on her Facebook page was this, if you're not my good friend, and it was to general people, don't contact me schlepping your stuff and what you want to sell me or have parties. And I thought, oh man, I've really upset this one. And so I looked at her post a little more, I was like, well, maybe it's not her. But I'm the person who, even if you really don't care for me, if I've upset you, I will still apologize. I don't like upsetting people. So I sent her an instant message back. And I said, I'm really sorry, mistaken identity, all this other stuff. And she said, oh, well, that wasn't directed at you. I mean, it was like the day after it happened. She says, and she gave me this, I apologize. I had 5 people call me who I didn't know, want me to host a party for this, do a party. It just was bad timing. She says, so now that we got that out of the way, can you tell me how to get a rock? I said, I sure can. You want it discounted or do you want it free? Guess who's signing up as a consultant today?
That's awesome.
And she ends up, she's a businesswoman in town, so she knows a lot of people. So she actually owns a funeral home. But I met her last night. She's actually hilarious and funny. She hates the P word, the party word. But she likes doing more book parties. But even as I was like, okay, so where is this gonna go if she hates that P word? And so I was talking to her, and then she says, "Well, I do this party every year." She says, "I know, I hate that word." And so we're talking about doing. She does this purse party thing every year. Once a year is this huge thing. So we're talking about actually combining it, having the ice cream. She likes her mixed drinks, so we're gonna have the ice cream maker making margaritas in the middle of it, and setting up stuff. And so she's went from I hate parties to let's plan one.
That's awesome.
So it may be a slower start for her, but I think eventually it'll be something bigger if she wants it. We'll just see how it goes. But I took somebody from that I thought I knew. Actually, ends up I babysat her granddaughter like 40 years ago. But it was a weird connection. But I took someone who I thought was really upset with me, was really angry, just trying to smooth it over. I don't want my name or what I'm doing to leave a bad taste in someone's mouth. But ends up it was totally not directed at me. But I took that one step to say, hey, yeah, I care about what you think. And ends up I have a new consultant. So even the most dire situations, try to see if there's something good in them, and you never know, it may turn around.
I love that, Kimberly. That's awesome. So she took that one thing that was a negative and turned it into something that was not just a positive, but like a holy moly positive. That's so awesome.
Yeah, it shocked me because I said, she was talking about the prices. And I said, well, look at this. And I made her a whole list. I took the list of it's an ultimate kit. And one of the items was the Rock Croc.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, would you spend $259 on this? And she says, you're kidding me. What's the catch? I said, nothing. I said, there's a small one, but you won't mind it. Because if you end up not liking it, what's the harm? It's not for you. But if it is, look at all this great stuff you got.
I love it. That's awesome. So she related the kit and what she wanted and the possibilities out of that kit. Because people are going to buy the products no matter what. But if they just get the kit and they do their launch party, or you do their launch party for them, and they get a couple bookings from some friends and they start making that commission, they're going to be pretty excited to see that money hit their bank account on what they're doing with just wanting the Rock Croc or whatever product it is. So congratulations.
Kimberly, this is Patty. If she doesn't like the P word, she doesn't have to be a party girl. She can be a show girl, and she can call parties shows. Because I struggle with that a little bit too. I'd much rather be a show girl than a party girl. But so just change the word for her and let her do shows instead of parties.
Perfect. Yeah.
I could go somewhere with that, Patty, but I'm not.
I know.
I've went there already.
Okay.
But do I have like the? Actually, you know what? I'll just post it on the page. There, I came across, and you're going to think it's funny as I say this person's name, a thank you speech by Snoop Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just Google Snoop Dogg's thank you speech and listen to the last 30 seconds of it, and of all people to give me a little inspiration about believing in myself, is I can thank Shanacy, I can thank Lauren, I can thank whoever, but until I thank myself, I don't think I'm gonna go. I've got that. It was just something struck a chord in me when I listened to it. I don't listen to his music. But I heard something about the thank you speech, and the last 30 seconds I think is a really important message. Few words you might not like, but
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. I'll Google that and look that up later today, because I typically don't follow him.
it popped up on Facebook.
Okay, so we're going to move on and talk a little bit more about belief, because I don't feel like you can ever have enough belief. That was a great segue into that, but it's just such a powerful word, right? Believe. It means so many things. So let's ask a question. Do you believe in the power of you? Do you believe that you can do, be, or have anything you want in life if you're willing to work hard enough to get it? Think about that for a second. Do you believe you're worth it? Do you see all these people having success around you within this group, within the company, and think, that could be me? Why not me? So it's something to think about, especially when you consider the definition of the word belief. Simply put, belief is what we tell ourselves every day. What we tell our mind, our brain believes. So you have to be careful in what you're telling your mind because your brain is going to believe it. If you do not believe you're good enough, you won't be. If you don't believe it's possible for you, then it won't be. You have to believe in yourself first. All of the directors on this call and leaders, we all believe in you. You were invited to this group because we believe in you and we know you can do it. We see you doing it. But you have to believe that you can do this too. So we're going to do a quick activity to help us think a little bit more about belief. Answer the following questions on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. Do you believe, and most importantly, just be honest with yourself. Don't try to get the right answer. Just be honest with yourself. Do you believe you can build your skills and succeed in reaching your booking and recruiting goals? Do you believe you can build your skills and succeed in reaching your booking and recruiting goals? The next one. Do you believe you can promote to a director in 30 to 90 days? Do you believe that you can be a strong leader for your team? Then you're going to add your scores up, see what you got. Are you happy with your scores today? Or do you feel you have room to grow in your belief level? Belief is such a powerful concept that when you truly understand how powerful it is, it can change your life. Literally. And so I'm going to share a belief triangle. So we have, imagine a triangle. Lindsay, can you find the graphic and pull this up? Oh, there you go. Thank you. So there you see my little, she's great assistant. I love her. We are a team. Okay, so you have your results and your belief at the top, and then your actions. So this is called the belief triangle, and it's revealing a way of looking at the power of belief. Remember, our beliefs are determined by what we tell ourselves every single day. And the belief triangle tells us that beliefs determine our actions, which determine our results. And results reinforce the belief. So here's an example of how that might look when it comes to your business. Your belief is people are so busy today, They don't have time to add another commitment to their life, like a Pampered Chef business. So your actions, you don't ask the host every 5 times. You don't ask every single party guest, and you don't post about the opportunity in your virtual parties. Your results, you're not getting recruits on a consistent basis. So now let's change this. And what we tell ourselves every day and create a new belief. Your new belief, Pampered Chef is an amazing opportunity for anyone. Lots of people need more income and will find time for what's important to them. Pampered Chef is an amazing opportunity for anyone. Lots of people need more income, especially now, and will find time for what's important to them. So your new action, I ask the host 5 times, every time, 5 times. I ask every party guest. I post about the virtual opportunity in my parties. Your new results are going to be your recruiting consistently and achieve multiple 4-in-1 cycles every single month. And remember the 4-in-1, every 4, add 1 more for every 4 parties, you should have 1 recruit, because there might not be, there's a recruit at every party, but sometimes the recruiter is not there. So in order for you to succeed, you must believe that you can succeed. I really cannot stress that enough. You really have to believe that you can do it. Believe that you can be, do, and achieve anything you want in your business, as long as you're willing to work hard enough to achieve it. If you're struggling with that belief, focus on believing that Director Bound will help you succeed. And know that when you take action every day, you'll find the success that you're looking for. You were chosen to be part of this group because we believe in you. And we want you to believe in you too. So make sure that you are telling your brain what you want it to hear. And take a picture, make a little sketch of a belief triangle and post that by your computer, post it on your fridge, wherever that you need to see it, so that you remember that your belief is determining your actions, which determine your results, which reinforce your belief. So now that we have belief down, we're going to talk a little bit about affirmations, and Miss Patty Snodgrass is going to do that for us. Miss Patty?
Okay. Well, I found that a lot of times people in direct sales are nice. You know, we tend to like people a little bit, or at least on Virtual Party, Joe. And we're basically nice. I'm pretty nice. But I have to tell y'all, I talk terrible to myself. I say things to myself that I would not even think about somebody else. And that is something I have learned as an adult that I do. I don't know if I just started doing it as an adult. I haven't spent that much time worrying about it. But affirmations help me a lot. And I'll confess that the first time I heard about affirmations, I went, good grief, that's dumb. That is so dumb. You either do it or you don't. But it is true that what you tell your brain is all your brain knows. So if you think they're hooey, just put that aside for just a little bit and try it for a little while. So if you're struggling with belief, one way you can change it is with positive affirmations. We've already learned that a positive affirmation is a statement that's worded as though you're already doing it and you already have what you want to achieve. They describe specific positive outcomes, and we asked you to create a positive affirmation about the success you will have in promoting to director. And you guys posted that. Lots of y'all posted that this week, and they were great. They were really great. So today we're going to ask you to grow that list from 1 to 5. 5 affirmations. Remember to use the I am statements when you're writing your affirmations. When you do this, you're training your brain to hear what you're already accomplishing, and then you'll accomplish it. Read your affirmations out loud twice a day. First in the morning to help you focus for the day and remind you of you want to achieve, and then right before you go to bed to help your mind think about them while you're sleeping. Also, sometime during the day, if you have a little mini crisis or something, just whip that sheet out and read them again. It's okay to do them more than once. It's important that you read them out loud and not silently in your brain. All right. So if you have to run, all you little mamas, if you have to go to the bathroom and shut the door, if that works at your house, just go somewhere outside or something and read them out loud. There's so much power in hearing your own voice saying what you're doing and what you want to do. And so I write affirmations, not just about my business. I include them for my walk with the Lord, family relationships, just different things like that. I include them. So I write them down, and like a nerd, I put them in a protective sheet so they don't get messed up, because if it got all wrinkled, then they'd be ruined, and that would bug me. So, I just do this, and I have front and back now, and it takes me a pair of minutes to get through this out loud, but it helps me tremendously. And if I skip it, I can tell about mid-morning, I'm like, why am I saying these things to myself? And so I highly recommend it. And I hope you have good success with it. And next we're going to have Jo, and she's going to give some affirmations, I think, right?
I think I was on mute. I'm not for sure. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, good deal. So definitely great information that Shaughnessy and Patty have shared. And on affirmations, it is one of those things that Patty says we say them out loud, and you consistently say them. And when you get into a routine of saying them, then it comes easy for you to do that, whether you do it first thing in the morning or in the morning when you start your day, and then of course in the evening. And we had a director's husband last year share some information with us at conference, and I can't think of his name. Is it Tom that did that? And he talked about how we needed to have a mindset of I am versus I think I can or I will, in saying that. So definitely, I'll try to figure out, maybe post on there, because we took notes that time, or when he told us that, and he gave us some information on that. I can share that later in the group for sure.
Okay, Jo, are you gonna do the next bit too?
My iPad is not hooked up, and so I can't do both, so I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
So can you do that?
I can do it.
Sure. Or Patty, do you want to cover it?
How far is she supposed to go down?
I
only wrote my name.
Oh, okay. To the next training topic, raising the bar for host coaching.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. An I am statement is you wouldn't say I want to be a director or I'm going to be a director. Your affirmation would be I am a director. Okay, I am this, or anything that's first person right now, right now. I to use not so much I am, but that certainly, you know, it's good. For instance, I use present. I don't know, all my English lessons have gone straight out of my head. But if you look down mine, you would see learning, recruiting, leading, walking, getting, things that are happening right now. So that's a good way to start. But you can just start with, I am a strong recruiter. I should probably get a tattoo of that and put it on my forearm so I can just, you know, say it all the time. So one thing you want to do then is your partner is your host, and you want to get in front of her and ask her the 5 times. That's what you want to do. It says here, when you set up a party, and my parties and orders, you and your host have access to resources to get the most of it. Hosts can use the host coaching tools. It's pretty crazy how they've changed that up. It's amazing. To invite guests, send messages, track sales, and all the rewards. The host coaching tab for every party also has an important tool for you. This is where you can track your host coaching process. And that's the most important thing. Host coaching will determine your party one way, or your show one way or the other. So you just go down the list. You can click on it and there's just all the things. It's just pretty amazing. You don't have to create a list. You don't have to, you know, follow that. You can just follow what they give you. This seems like a weird segue into this.
I know.
Okay.
So
I'm just saying, did my paper copy this wrong, or am I, okay. So,
I did get my iPad up. It's just, it was
Joe.
on the link. Sorry about that. So definitely, real quick, on that is just saying that your relationship with your host is the most important part of the party, for sure. Build a positive relationship with that host, for sure. Our top leaders tell us that they take time to connect with their hosts before the party to get to know them. During your chat, ask them about their family, their job, their interests, and find out what products they want in their wish list. That wish list, y'all, if y'all are not asking your host their wish list, you don't know what you're working for on that party. So you don't know if you're needing to have $1,000 party or a $200 party, right? Because if their wish list is, you know, a mix and chop, then a $200 party is going to get it, right? So really, you need to ask for that wish list from them. That is so important. And so that when they do only give you that wish list of a mix and chop, then you move off and get more items that they would want, and make that wish list big enough so that you can have $1,000 parties. Put your host all in a group message at the beginning of your parties if you're doing more than one per week, and inspire and create enthusiasm for their parties. And that's for both, I guess, for virtual parties, and then I guess you would do prep parties for your in-person. And provide your host with daily images and messages, and host coach them to post in their parties. It's their party, their guests want to hear from them, and they want to see them in that party. And so make sure you're sending those messages every morning to them and giving them, you know, a 1-minute duty to post on their party. And then and I'm just saying, in wrapping that up, is you have to have communication with your host, and so that you can have those successful parties. When you're not talking with your host, and you're not getting her engaged, then you're really just partying for a group of people that don't know you. And so they're not going to buy from you. They're going to buy from their host, right? They're not, even though they like the products and they sell themselves, they're actually there to party with their friend who is the host. So keep that, up front at all times. Okay. And check in with your host. If you don't hear from her or she doesn't do your little post, follow up and say, hey, something going on? What can I help you with? Did you get my message? Sometimes they don't check those messages. So continue to stay with your host throughout that party. I think that's it.
And just to kind of piggyback on what Joe was saying, with if you see that your host is seeing the post that you're sending them and they're not doing it, definitely follow up, because I have had it happen many times where they don't know how to copy and paste. Like, they literally don't even know how to copy and paste the action. And so I've had to coach them through that. So I say, oh, are you having trouble pasting it or copying it? And then I think sometimes it's they don't know how to do it from their phone. So I probe, oh, what kind of phone do you have? Do you have an iPhone? No, usually it's not an iPhone. They have some kind of Android or whatever. And this is what I do. I literally go on YouTube and Google something on whatever phone they have, and I send them the link and I'm like, watch this. This will tell you exactly how to do it. So sometimes we have to go that little extra mile. And another thing I do too is when you're putting them on a group message, something that I've changed recently that's helped is putting the date. So if your parties start on Friday, May 1st, change the group name on that messenger chat to May 1st hosts. And that way you can find them faster in your messages. So Ms. Crystal, new director, is going to talk about raising the bar for host coaching.
So as Joe and Shaughnessy and Patty have mentioned, your relationship with your host is key to your success for the party. So your host is comfortable enough and trusts you to introduce you as a consultant to their family and friends. And they help you generate your sales and your bookings, and can introduce you to your next consultant, or best case scenario is your host decides to become a consultant. That's why asking 5 times is so important. So your partnership with your host is really, truly a win-win. Your host earns amazing rewards. They have the opportunity to build your business through the party. So let's talk about your role your host can play in helping you reach the goal of getting 3 bookings from every party with every booking challenge. With a booking challenge. So our National Executive Director, Stacy Itzel, has given us a really great tool, which I'm going to put in the chat section here so y'all can access it and use it for your whenever you're talking to your host. I'll just read it through it real quick. So you're going to send a message to your host saying, hey there, I have an easy challenge for you. I want to help you get the maximum benefits from your host rewards. The best way to do this is to get 3 bookings from your party. That will let you get 3 more half-price items, 1 at each party. And when you get 3 bookings at your party, I'll have an extra gift for you. I have an easy way to help you. Do you want to go for it? And generally their answer will be yes, because they're hosting a party because they want those rewards and they want to get a free gift from you. So when they say yes, great, would you be willing to message 10 friends to see if they would be interested in hosting their own party? If so, I'll even give you the words you can send to them. And if their answer is yes, which most likely it will be, awesome. Make sure you send it to each person individually, not in a giant group chat. And also include me in each message you send. Here is the message you use. Hi, thanks so much for joining us at my party this week. We've learned so much. I wanted to check with you to see if you might be interested in earning a lot of free products, just like I am this week. My consultant is super fun, and hosting on an online party is a cinch. It only takes a few minutes a day to post one thing that she'll send to you in advance. She has openings in whatever month you're in, and the offers are amazing. I'm only 2 parties away from my goal. I'll attend if you have one. What do you say? And then when they respond, they're going to respond to each message the host sends with, hi, Shaughnessy, I'd love to work with you and help you get some of the products on your own on your wish list for free. Shaughnessy thought of you because she thought you would make a great host. It's super easy and takes only a few minutes. What do you think? Follow up with those who didn't respond. Hey, so-and-so, I'm just following up because I'm closing the party. I know people get busy and don't get a chance to respond. So I wanted to check with you to see if you are interested in hosting and earning free products. I would love to work with you. Please let me know either way. So that takes the pressure off. You're not being pushy. You're following up. Patty taught me. No answer is not a no. You keep working until you get no. And that's a very valuable resource. And this is coming from our top person in our organization, Stacy Itzel, who has done all of this, and she's laid it out for us. So I'm gonna copy and paste this into the chat section so y'all can have it for whenever y'all are working with your hosts. So Lindsay's gonna discuss with us about habits, making habits to do this. So.
Okay, so the one thing I want to say about that real quick is when you message your hosts, anything that you want them to send someone else, make separate messages so that the message that you want them to send, you just copy and paste, they just have to copy and paste that message. Because if you send them this is all you need to send to your friends, and then you send the thing, they often send that top part, and it makes all of us look a little bit silly. So just spell it out for them, cut it down. All they have to do is copy and paste that one thing. All right, so I am going to talk about best practices and habits for recruiting your hosts. How many of you, raise hands for those of you that we can see, how many of you seriously hosted a party before you were a consultant? Carrie, I know you hosted parties. How many of you hosted a lot of parties before you were a consultant? A lot of us, right? So I know a couple of you, it may have been your first party, your first experience with Pampered Chef, but most, and they actually check this when you've been with them for long enough, they actually do surveys and check this, but most consultants were a host before they joined. Your hosts are the most likely people to join your team. So we're going to talk about how to approach your hosts. You, just like Crystal said, you ask every host 5 times, all right? 5. You may be thinking 5 times feels like a lot. Here are the 5 times that you're going to ask. Sorry. Oh, sorry, I skipped a section. But when you're first asked to do something, to commit to something, if you don't actually know what it entails, your first answer is going to be no. That's just your immediate reaction if you don't know what to expect. So this is why 5 times is really important, okay? So here are your 5 times. The first one is during your first host coaching conversation. I know this is very easy wording. I know this probably wasn't on your radar when you booked your party, but did you know we could easily turn your party into a launch party? That way you'll not only earn host rewards, but the income as well. Have you ever thought about doing something like Pampered Chef? After their response, have them look at the opportunity brochure. There is a digital copy of that. And if you haven't sent it in a host packet already, and send them to the Be a Consultant page on your personal website. Number 2, yes?
Can I add to that? You can also invite them to our opportunity group, and they can, if it's not live that week, they can scroll back and see a lot of information about it.
Your number 2 ask is as soon as the guests start to RSVP. Wording's as simple as, wow, you have a lot of guests who have already joined in on the fun, and they all seem to love Pampered Chef. Have you given any more thought to doing something like this? I'd love to give you all the bookings we get from this party to help you kickstart your own business. Have you had a chance to look at the Be a Consultant page on my website? What do you think? Number 3, as soon as the party sales reach the level required to earn a kit credit, which the first kit credit is at $300. In April, it was less because of the bonus, but normally it's at $300. They get the $25 kit credit. So once you get to $300, wow, your party just hit $300 in sales. Did you know that you have officially qualified for a kit credit that you can apply to any of our new consultant kits? Have you thought any more about joining Pampered Chef? You can check out the kit credit information on your party planner and on the opportunity brochure I included in your host packet. All right, so that's number 3. Number 4. As you receive responses to your guest survey, or if you're not doing a guest survey, as they're getting bookings, right? They're helping you get bookings anyway. And if you've gotten bookings on your booking posts. Wow, I'm looking at the survey today and you have so many friends who said they'd be willing to host a party for you if you decided to become a consultant. Have you thought any more about the possibilities that Pampered Chef has to offer? And number 5 is when you're closing, bless you, when you're closing the party with your host. So this is part of your closing with your host. I know we've talked throughout your party about the Pampered Chef business opportunity. You've been an amazing host, and I can tell you really love Pampered Chef products. And that's one of the reasons I think you would make a wonderful consultant. You're going to share why the business could be a solution for something they told you was a challenge. For example, I remember you mentioned that your daughter was involved in gymnastics. The extra income from Pampered Chef business could help with those costs. I would love to offer you all the bookings that came from your party, and that would help you kickstart your business. What do you think? Do you want to give it a shot? When you offer the opportunity to your host, you need to ask yourself 2 questions. The first question you're asking yourself is, why would your host be good at Pampered Chef? And 2, how could Pampered Chef be good for them? If you're listening and asking questions, you should be able to find answers to both of those questions. Why would they be good? And why would Pampered Chef be good for them?
Awesome. So it's very important, just like Lindsay said, ask your host 5 times. It sounds like a lot, but when you're just kind of planting those seeds throughout, it's different. You're asking them, but you're not throwing it in their face. So are you going to sign? Are you going to sign? Are you going to sign? Are you going to be a consultant? Don't do that. Do not do that. But when you kind of just massage it in, and even like Kimberly was saying, like, oh, did you want to get it for free or a discount? That rock crack, and that segued into a new kit. Hey, look it's in this new kit. Look at this. Let's just order it for that. You're paying $100 and something more than you would full price, and you can make some commission with the party. So very important, 5 times.
And I did forget to say, if they've said no the first couple of times, like we said before, it's probably that they didn't really know what it meant, and you've given them a little bit of information along the way. But do acknowledge that. Don't let there be an elephant in the room. You simply say, I know you said you weren't interested before, but you have 10 bookings. It would be silly for you not to do this, that kind of thing. So do acknowledge it so that they know you have been listening.
So I wanted to show you guys something real quick before I kind of go into what our homework is for the week and your follow-up. So we all are, some of the leaders you heard reference Stacy Itzel, who did the host challenge, and she's actually our national executive director. She has been doing Pampered Chef for, I think it's 15 years now. I think it's 15 years. But she is our leader. She's literally broke records in the company last month, a sales record. She sold last month by herself in personal sales, $55,000 by herself. That's not any of us contributing to that. $55,000. Think about that for a sec. That's a lot. So she knows what she's talking about. And she is, some of you guys, if you were at conference last year, you have met her. And I have to tell you, she is the most amazing person. She is a close friend of mine. I signed directly under her. She came to my house and did a party years ago when I was not looking for the business opportunity. And at that point, she was an advanced director. She had one director on her team. I became her second director. And then now we have hundreds of directors in our organization. But just a little background on her before I show you this image. So she is a mom of 5 now, but when she joined 4, she was a homeschool mom. She married Adam, her high school sweetheart, at like 18. They start having babies right away. She did not have a college degree, and that always kind of was the monkey on her back. She never believed in herself because she didn't have a college degree. And I'm going to show you what her income is right now and how it has grown and what the possibilities are for this business. Be prepared to be a little bit blown away because this is pretty amazing. And she shared with us, our director team, this income progression over her career in April. So she started out in April of 2007 and she got paid $16.35. I signed with her in 11, actually March of 11, and she was making about $6,000 then, $6,638 as an advanced director. Last month, her paycheck was $59,784 in 1 month. 1 month. This is not a year. This is a month. My mouth dropped when I saw this personally. I was like, what is that like? That's the number that our family, my husband's active duty, like that's closer to a year's salary for him than it is a month. I was blown away. And I can tell you, I've done the math, and with that $55,000 in personal sales, about 16,000 of it was just on that sales, personal sales. So if you take away the 16,000, the rest of that is all of us contributing on those overrides. But what I loved the most out of that is not only did she, make almost $60,000 last month, but what she did with that $60,000. She used that money to build a well in India, in a remote village that needed a well so they could have fresh drinking water. And you guys helped do that. She also paid the rent on a local business owner's space because they had to close in March and they didn't have the rent to pay. So she paid a month's rent. And then they also helped a ministry in their church that helped buy groceries and pay rent for some low-income families in the church. So that's what is possible with this business. And I had several people share with me personally this week that they're using their money, income from Pampered Chef, and they might not be making these numbers, but even their little income that they're making, they're using it to make a difference in others' lives through ministry or other ways that they're helping others. So think about the possibilities of what this could look like for you. What was your paycheck last month? How's it going to look this month in comparison? How's your paycheck going to look a year from now? Is it going to look the same? Is it going to look a little bit more? Or are you going to take a big jump? And that all starts here. It all starts here. You don't get that kind of income because you don't believe you can do it. And it just happens. You have to believe in yourself and believe that that is possible. So this week, couple call to action items. You're going to continue making your contacts, 10 to 30 contacts a day for booking. You're going to do that no tracker that I'm going to post in the Director Bound group. Obviously come to our call next week, and then make sure you're on your check-in call or message with your upline director that invited you to this group. And then you're going to continue, write your 5 affirmations. If you have not done that yet, write your 5 affirmations and read them aloud twice a day. If you haven't already started, start taking, using the host booking challenge in your parties. Changed my business, guys, changed my business. Ask every host 5 times. Keep adding lists. Keep adding names to your list of contacts, and make a hot list for recruiting. Maybe somebody's not ready right now, but that doesn't mean they're not ready ever. I was one of those that raised my hand that I had hosted several Pampered Chef parties before I said yes. It literally went in one ear and out the other. And here I am 9 years later, a senior director. Never in a million years, never. So don't give up, put them on a list, and follow up at another time. Also, make sure that you are doing your host coaching. Right, I want you guys to think about what you heard today and think about what your biggest takeaways and something you're going to implement from today. You're going to, I already did the no tracker. In your beliefs. And if you have not shared your vision board in the group yet, go ahead and do so. I know some people hadn't had a chance to finish that yet. Remember, your vision board could be digital. If you scroll back in the group, you'll see some. And it can be digital, or it could be like mine on poster board and cut and paste.
We talked about stories for your homework last time too.
Yes. Can you reiterate that, Linz?
Absolutely. You go through your DASH training on how to write your story, and then you're going to send videotape it, send it to Shaughnessy or I and your director. Shaughnessy and I and your director.
Put us on a group message, Lindsay,
exactly.
Me, and your director. It's good practice for that host challenge, because that host challenge is individual group messages with you, the host, and the potential guest, and like 10 of those. So that's how that works, in case that wasn't clear before. Go ahead, Linz.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. So make sure, yeah.
We only have a couple, so.
We had 2 people do that this last week. So make sure that you're doing that. So go into Dash, watch how to write your story, and video yourself. We're not going to share it anywhere, so don't worry. You're not going to be broadcast on YouTube or even in this group. This is literally just your director, me and Lindsay are going to see this, unless you want other people to see it too. So Any questions before we jump off for today? We went about 3 minutes over. I apologize for that, but we had a lot to cover. No, everybody is so excited, right? Wrapping up the month. Guys, oh, and I got to share this. I'm so excited. So this month we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 directors, I believe, right? 8 directors. Am I doing the math right, Linz? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8 directors. 8 directors. 7 of the 8 no, there's 2 that were. So there's 6 of 8 directors were green with team sales by the 15th. That is amazing. Amazing. So I know like you guys are thinking on this call, like I got to get 5,000 in a month. We have director teams doing it in the first 2 weeks, being green by 15 and with $5,000 in sales or more. We have some director teams right now that are green with like over $16,000. And we're only 2 weeks into the month. So we still have half a month to go. So you guys can do it. If you're thinking, oh my gosh, I only have 2 weeks to do 5,000 in sales and get a couple team members and us all do that. This is the month, guys. This is what's happening in the company. We have been breaking record numbers in the company. So
Chauncey, this is something that I accidentally skipped a while ago, but it's a great thing that I want to be sure that y'all hear. And so if you're thinking right now, yeah, that sounds good, but we can never do that. Well, go back to affirmations. And this is one thing you want to know. Never forget that your brain isn't as smart as you think it is. It will believe anything you tell it if you tell it often enough. So make sure you're telling it positive statements.
I love that. So you tell yourself, I can do that 5,000. My team is going to grow. I may not have the 5 people yet. I might not have the 4 people yet, but those 4 people are in my party that starts this week, or my parties. So I will, I'm going to close this up, and you guys are, I'm going to stop the recording real quick, and we will see you all back here next week at the same time, 7 a.m. for us early birds out here on the West Coast, 10 o'clock for you in the Central, and 11 on the East Coast. And it will be our last one together, our last Director Bound together.